Uh, Welcome back one and all to another update. Actually, this is the third update. It's Monday morning. Actually, no, it's not. It's Monday afternoon. It is 3 o'clock. No, it's not. I'll do that again. Right, welcome back, ladies and gents. It is Monday. It is 1:15 in the afternoon, and I've spent all morning, probably about 3 or so hours, on doing not very much. As you may recall, I had a load of Perspex parts laser cut for these TARDISes that I'm building. I'm actually building more than one. Now, one of the things I did say to them back then is, could you please make sure everything is kept in the correct order? And I did discover last week that there was a small issue. They weren't quite in the order I thought they were, but also I was missing a couple of side walls, I think it was. Yeah, right side walls. So after a bit of a brief hiccup when we had snow and of course the kids were home and I couldn't get any work done with them, sat down this morning and thought, right, I'll do the doors. So there is one door done. And fine, fair enough, everything's tickety-boo. But as I was working my way through all the little parts like this, I began to notice that I had more issues. One of them being these. I've got some windows here, some window frames, and these are front windows. However, on virtually all of my front wall panels, I had, if I can grip it, I had these, which are the side windows. So we know it's a side window because it's taller here than it is up here, as I explained in my last update. How that's happened, I have absolutely no idea, because on the drawing, the window frames are contained within the actual wall, so everything is laid out just for them to load up the thing into the file, into their laser cutter, and then cut it. Not only am I now missing windows, I'm also realising that all my little parts aren't together. So here's a part. Now this sits up sort of here. Now you'd think, oh yeah, that's all pretty good. That sits up there, all lovely and nice. Well, I've had to spend rather a lot of time searching through all the parts for the actual right ones, because the back wall and the front walls have these parts. So the original one that I stuck on is this one. You can tell I've already stuck it on because it's now frosted, and this is a back wall. Now this back wall piece here was in with this front wall piece. Now you might be thinking, oh well, you know, bits are bits. Well, actually you'll see that fits just nicely there. But let's bring up the original part that I glued on. You might just be able to see that, oops, helps to keep it in frame. You might just be able to see that this frame here is very slightly smaller than this piece up here. I mean, this is shorter by about a mil and a bit, shall we say. So rather than me just grabbing bits and sticking them all together, I've now got to grab bits, check that they are the bits that go there, then check the orientation. I've also noticed with my doors, I can't be sure which way round they are. Not only which way round they are, but which rotation that way are. Because they are very slightly different. They are also very slightly asymmetrical, but only by a small amount. So rather than this just taking me, I don't know, 20 minutes to put together, it's taken me well over 3 hours. I mean, it's truly, utterly slowed me down. So everything's in the wrong order. I had walls missing, and I have window frames missing. God knows how that happened, but luckily, because I was given those 2 extra walls. Now, which walls was it? I was given 2 extra back walls, I think it was, and I should have had 4 of each. I was given 6 back walls and 4 side walls. Luckily, because I've got those 2 extra, I could use the back wall spares to bolster up my number of front wall windows, because I'm working on the front wall at the minute. But I'm still 1 window short. I mean, technically I shouldn't be any window short, but you know, needs must. I'm not going to go back. I'm not going to complain about it. I'm just going to make this thing work, whether it kills me. Thankfully, I've got my wits about me and I'm going on. But yeah, this is just slightly frustrating. More in terms of the fact that I'm losing time over this. You know, I should have just been able to go bang in and do it. What I think has happened, when I gave them the original digital artwork, I think they had to, in fact I know they had to rearrange it for their bed, for their cutting bed. I then think that when they came to lift all the parts off, they probably just randomly picked them all up and put them together, then realised that, oh yeah, this guy wants these things noted as to which is which. They weren't that familiar with the drawings, and they just looked at bits and thought, yeah, that bit goes with this bit and so forth, and it's come back as a complete higgledy-piggledy mess. So I can't take for granted that everything I do is in the correct order, so I'm now having to slow right down and check every single piece. As I said, not just, is it this way, but look at, is it that way, is it that way, is it this way up, is it that way up, and that takes the time. But all these teething troubles are the things you deal with right at the beginning. Once you've got it sorted out, then it's, you know, off like off like a rocket. Oh, and I remembered to wear my glasses because ordinarily I forget that I need them. So that's where we are, Monday morning. It is, as I said, it's coming up for 1:20 now. It's going to be a bit of a short day now because of this. But that's my little update for now. I'm sure I'll have further updates and I'll add to this video in due course. But yeah, bit of a misstep, but we'll get there. And I'll be back in a moment. Right, this is something else that seems to take absolutely ages. It's trying to peel this protective film off. It's just really difficult and picky and fiddly. Honestly, I cannot get this stuff off. Picky, come on. Yeah, no. Yep, no. Still not got it, let's try the other side. No, I cannot find it. Now, if I had some really sticky tape, I would just stick it across this and yank the stuff off, but I don't have any. I've just got really useless masking tape, which is not very sticky at all. Ugh. Alright, keep going. It's alright, let's try a different side. Give up on that side. Yeah, there we go. Oh, look at that. Oh, dear me. Satisfying. That's one side. Let's go back to the original side and see if I can get this one off. So yeah, as I was saying, this is what takes time. That and all the sorting out. Hey, look at that, wow. Whee! Now, something else about laser cutting that I didn't know about. When you cut any normal plastic, you'll end up with a burr on one side, and the burr is like a little edge that's rolled over slightly. Now, I didn't know that you could get that on laser cut pieces, so there it is. So what I need to do now is just go round with a file and take it off, and that's what I'm going to be doing. Trying to do it for camera is no easy task, I have to admit. I have to wear my glasses as well. The other thing that I was very wary about, when I received all those parts in that blue, or that clear saran wrap, cling filmy stuff, it was bending everything. I thought, oh, I hope that's okay and that nothing's broken. Well, I actually discovered that one of these was broken. In fact, you may just be able to see it. There's the lovely crack. That is not just a crack, that is snapped right through. And what I did do is a couple of days ago, I glued it back together again because I wanted to allow it to sit for at least 1 or 2 days just to really chooch and be as robust as possible. Luckily, the way this is designed is there is a piece sitting across that, so that bridges it and keeps it together all nicely, so you can just sort of see it there. See that? There's that extra piece. So that's holding the whole thing together. I'm not overly happy about this, but at least I could fix it, and it was an easy fix. But I will be using this on the moulded TARDIS, so I'm not too bothered. So in general, what do I think of laser cutting? Well, the obvious answer is I think it's a godsend. I think it's a massive time saver. Where it falls down are the people who are doing it. Now, I'm not blaming or bad-mouthing the company that did this. I think they've done a spectacular job. It's just a little bit of communication back and forth would have been nice. And really, because they weren't quite aware of what the parts were, I think they assumed, and they must have messed up, and they tried to fix it, and they gave it to me hoping it was all correct, and it wasn't. What really they should have done was talk to me about it. But anyway, I managed to sort of stumble my way through and get it all sorted, so I think in future I would like to do some more work with laser cutting. I must admit, it does feel like a bit of a cheat, but it isn't really, because I design the stuff anyway, so it is my work. I'm just tendering the stuff out to be, to have it cut. Yeah, so I'm quite pleased with it. I think the quality is really nice. But anyway, I'm going to crack on with the rest of my assembly. I'm not going to do any further updates this week because it's just going to be more of the same, and I don't want to repeat myself, basically. So I'm going to hand over to me from the future, and he can wrap up this entire video, and I will speak to you soon, and I from the future will speak to you, well, almost instantly. Well, I'm not entirely sure why I've handed back to myself, because I've pretty much said everything that needs to be said, but here we are. I've assembled some of the parts into 3 little TARDISes, and little plastic Tom Baker dolly is here to oversee everything and make sure that everything looks lovely and tickety-boo, and it does, doesn't it? Yes, it does. So, is there anything else I can tell you for this week's update? Not really. I have won something, the first ever thing I've ever won. I didn't enter a competition or anything, I just filled in a form and answered some stupid questions. So thank you BBC Worldwide, I have won £50 from you, and I will be spending that probably on a tool. I did give the £50 to my wife, but she said no, go and buy a tool with it, so I'm going to. So I may actually put that towards a Dremel. I kind of burnt and exploded mine over 10 years ago, and I've never really replaced it. I do have a spare one that a chap gave to me, and it's a bit rubbishy and I hardly ever use it. But anyway, enough rambling from me. So this is where I'm at with the model, and I'm going to continue building this. There's going to be a little bit of delay because of various other things that are happening out here in the real world, but I will be back soon, and for now, thanks very much for watching. I hope you like it, and I'll speak to you again soon.